Okay, we're live. All right, this is Madden Monarchy podcast 2, and we're gonna base it off of pretty much the rules in a new upcoming tournament we're gonna be hosting. Again, I'm Kyle or Waldo, and I'm the Ravens as a commissioner.
Uh, I'm Jeff, or Jeff Hester, and I am the Cowboys as a commissioner.
I'm Chris. I'm Pest. I'm the Jags as commissioner.
I'm the better Chris, and I'm the Dolphins.
Awesome.
I'm also a commissioner. Or Fins if you want to be a cheeky chaff.
All right, so for the first topic we're gonna have is just pretty much the rule overall for the new Madden. I mean, obviously a lot of it is subject to change, but we did make some bigger changes, I guess, focused not so much on gameplay, but other aspects of it. Let's start off with just the practice squad feature, because obviously a lot of people are like really curious about that and such. Ask me how it is gonna go down. So, any of you guys have that pulled up by chance?
I got it. I pretty much know it. The practice squad, the way we're going to be doing it is it's literally a free-for-all as far as signing goes. It's just you're restricted to only 2 signings a year off of the practice squad. So it's a risk-reward type situation. Go nuts. Sign whoever you want. Just only sign 2 people. Because we don't want people going and stealing everybody. One person going and stealing everybody from everyone. And honestly, if you don't want to lose a player, don't put him on the practice squad. But at the same time, like I was saying, it's risk reward.
Yeah, for sure. Take a lot of caution, like with who you put. Like if you put, say, someone who's a really like young athletic beast, and he gets taken like right in the first week, you can't come bitching to us. That's your own fault. We've warned you, and like you got to know the rules. And then also, I guess kind of going in like the free agency sort of thing is the new undrafted rookies and all the like 50 or so that the new ones are creating after the draft. So pretty much what we're gonna do is it's not gonna be a free-for-all per se. We're gonna kick it off. We're gonna follow the draft order from just the previous draft we just finished. So whoever has first pick gets the first undrafted free agent, and then it goes down the line, and then we'll do one round of that. And then once we get all 32 teams to pick, and then it'll just pretty much be free for all after that. Anything you guys?
Yeah, I've done some testing with the draft classes and everything. You guys, during the trial period, I ran through about 5 seasons, and was checking out the free agents every year right after the draft. And it turns out there's probably 5 really good. Decent to good players that come out in that like 50 undrafted free agent class, so it's really not that big of a deal. But we don't want somebody just to jump in right after the draft and steal all of them. It needs to be a fair process, because I mean everyone needs to have a fair crack. So like you were saying, it's going to go in the draft order. So the first year it's going to be in the team picking order, the draft. Yeah, the draft, and then after that, it's going to go just however the seasons go, 1 through 32, and like I said, 5, maybe 7 players at the most that are really good. You might get a star dev or somebody who's like 90 to 93 speed, something like that. But there's not really much of it's not going to be like an 85 overall rookie. That doesn't happen at all this year, so just be on the lookout.
They're more so like just physical beasts, I guess, per se.
Right, yeah, you might get like a 6'3" free safety with 90 speed or 92 speed, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. The highest I saw was like a running back, I think, with 96 that came out in that undrafted free agent class, but he was terrible other than the speed.
I mean, there's some speed horse.
I'm one of them. The other thing to go with that waiver wire is it's not just for undrafted free agents. You can use it for other free agents as well, I assume.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, we're gonna follow for the, I guess, just the like first free agency waiver wire at the very beginning of the first season. We're just gonna go by the lowest overall gets first pick to the highest overall gets the last pick.
Yep. We posted that list in chat earlier today, and it's starred. If you do have a question about it, you can definitely ask a CM. But
Yeah,
if you see it in chat again, I recommend going ahead and long press it and star the message so that you can go back and see it again if you want to.
for sure. All right. So I guess kind of since we're going in like somewhat with the draft, we're having a new rule focused on the trading part of like draft picks and such. Um, so we're going to be limiting how many draft picks you can have in a single draft. I mean, so everyone pretty much starts with 7. I mean, obviously one for each round, and then we agreed on what is it, 13 picks in a
No, it's
year's
10.
draft. 10.
It's
Okay.
10.
10.
So again,
Way to go.
so we have you can have 10 picks in a single year. I mean, obviously some people will say like the Titans are having 14 next year from all the picks they got, but it's not real life. It's Madden. So we so there's that. Also, I guess there's another new rule. If you have like a starting player that's just not performing how you expect him to, you can't, and like say he throws like 5 interceptions one game and just does absolutely shit. You can bench him and start someone else, but you can't just straight up cut the guy right after the game.
So say your starting QB is Tom Brady, and he just throws the ball way too well. You are not allowed to cut him. Okay, you're not just allowed to cut him because he throws the ball too well for you. But
We're gonna nickname that the Finn rule. Coach Finn, shout out.
May or may not have had 2 incidences with that last Madden.
to go along with the draft rule, though, it's not only just 10 total picks. You're only allowed to have 2 total first rounders and 3 total second rounders. So at most, you can have 2 first rounders, 3 second rounders.
Yeah,
And
that's part of that
total.
10. That's just to help protect. I mean, we saw in a different league in MG, my first year, I got 3 first-round picks in the top 13. And after 2 seasons, my team was like 98 overall. We just don't want to see that in here. It just makes it unfair. I mean, when you have that, it doesn't make for a balanced league, with parity, which is what we want. We want to run through 6 or 7 years, and hopefully no one wins more than one Super Bowl. I mean, it does happen every once in a while, but that's the goal.
All right, and then so we have a few other rules. I mean, just those were more so just the like not so much gameplay ones, but there obviously are. Oh, also, kind of remember that new free agency rule. So we're gonna have like a limit per position for each like in the off-season free agency. So say you looking at like a 3-4 defensive end, you can't offer anything more than say I think it's J.J. Watt probably has the most of 3-4 defensive ends. That's the absolute maximum you can offer for that certain position, and we're gonna have that for every single position. So like left tackle, right guard, 3-4 defensive end, 4-3 defensive end, and just go. We're gonna have just a huge list, kind of like the untradeable list. Just gonna have an Excel sheet that you could just look up really quick
Yep.
on Slack, and then just don't go over that. Obviously, I don't know how like specific we'll be able to find like how big the bonus is and how big per year they're getting.
We should be able to see the majority of it. There's a couple good contract sites out there. I was looking at a while ago. I know.
Yeah. And I'm not so worried about what the breakdown of salary versus bonuses, but I'm more concerned with years and total dollars. I've always been a big fan of being able to, you can put that money however you want within the Madden game, and spread it out however you see fit between salary and bonus. And being that it's a new Madden game, we don't all know perfectly how you're gonna like automatically win. Like last year it was fill up the green bars and it didn't matter how much over you went. This year we haven't quite finished it, so we'll see how that goes. And Kyle just peaced out.
Did he die?
Good places to go. People to meet.
Sorry, my fault. Also, so I guess just going all together right now. Also on the trading part of it, you can have 5 total trades per season, which includes like the actual season and the off season together, right?
No, it's separate.
No, it's 5
Separate.
in season, 5 off season. So you get
Okay, and then
10 total trades within a year.
yeah, so out of those 5, you can have a maximum of 3 impact trades, which involve anyone on the untradeable list or a first round pick. I mean, obviously you don't have to do this. You could have 5 trades that involve people that aren't on the list, but the absolute maximum you can have 3 trades per, I guess, section.
You can't just blow up your team in 1 year like a certain Broncos user probably is going to attempt to, and follow in my
And
footsteps.
Chargers.
Or a certain Chargers user, or
Or a certain Raiders user, or a certain whatever other teams in that shitty division, Chiefs.
Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it for
Outside runs, halfback stretch.
Yeah,
that was the non-game plan. We're getting into
So
gameplay.
I mean, it's not technically just a halfback stretch, even though it is one of the more kind of like the inside zone was last year. But it's just don't abuse certain, I guess, what would you call them? Schemes? It's not even. I guess you can say more specific than schemes. Like you can't run the flood concept like
I was gonna say
more than
concept,
seven times like a game. Like we're not just limiting to a certain play. Like there's obviously countless different flood plays in Madden.
Just we changed the ruling on it. It used to be you could only run 6 to 7 of the same play, but then we realized that there were guys that they were running the same concept 30 times a game, but it was 4 different plays. So they were within the rules, but it was just no fun playing a guy running 30 floods a game with 6 or 7 plays because he was just loopholing it. So what we decided was you can only run one specific concept about 10 times a game at max.
Mm-hmm.
So we want you running it inside, we want you running it outside, we want you throwing outs, we want you throwing ins, we want you throwing slants, we want you being balanced, dude. We don't want stuff that you shouldn't be seeing, like or just seeing one thing the whole game. It's just no fun for anyone.
Mm-hmm. And then, like we were saying earlier, halfback stretch is a really glitchy run so far from what we've seen. Just don't abuse that run, just period. Like we're gonna at the start of the season we're gonna like keep a closer eye on it just because we want to see how everyone has adjusted to the new gameplay per se and see if they've changed their play style. Like also going along with the schemes, like saying like an outside run versus inside run. If you do like a halfback dive and bounce it outside at the very start of the play, that doesn't count as an inside run. That counts as an outside run. So like you can't do that, say one play, and then the very next one do like a halfback stretch. It's like those are 2 outside runs. Just don't do that. Just period.
Also, going along with the schemes thing, if you get called out, we can actually effectively make sure whether you're lying or not this year now. Because if you go in and you look at like the Madden screens, I posted a picture of this earlier. You can look at offensive schemes, and it tells you an exact percentage of your top concepts that you run. It'll say like 31% inside zone, 15% this. So like, there's no reason to lie anymore because we can just tell.
Yeah. Also, like to go along with that, like if you can Twitch your games, do it and archive those, because that'll just make it a lot easier for us to like actually get like a clear make a, I mean, more accurate decision, I guess. If someone's just constantly complaining about you and you're like, I didn't do anything wrong, you can watch my stream, and then we can see that you didn't do anything wrong. The guy's just bitching. It's like that helps everyone in the long run. Like you don't have to go through of us like harassing you with questions or anything like that. I mean, obviously there's some people that just can't Twitch because their internet or just their Twitch just doesn't allow it. But if you can, please do. Seems like about it for most of the rules. Oh, also, really quick thing, since it's kind of a huge aspect in this Madden, the fake special teams plays. So you can run. We're allowing 4 total fakes per season. That's kicks and punts added together. And the way we'll be monitoring this is by the person's opponent. um, just say I do a fake punt versus Volhar, and like immediately after the game, Volhar would just PM a CM and just tell him, hey, he used one of his fakes, and then we'll just have a huge list of those. And so and then once it gets like farther down the road and if someone gets really close to the limit, we'll I guess warn them and then say you can't do any more fakes. And then when it comes to the playoffs, we're allowing 1 total fake per game. We were gonna say 3 per playoffs, but obviously if someone's down big in the first game, they're gonna probably use all 3 of the fakes in one game. So just trying to, I guess, we don't want to completely eliminate the aspect, but you can always have the, I guess, thing, the fakes for like a surprise per se. I think that's for the most part good for the rules.
As far as like rules on gameplay and everything else go, I don't think we really added too much more. I mean,
No, we did.
We took this out last year, or that last couple seasons we played CPU games. We're only doing force losses still. It just makes it more of an incentive to try and actually schedule your game, because it used to be like, oh well, I can't play you. My CPU is really fucking hard to play. Hey, you have to play my CPU. You're gonna lose. And at this point, you actually have to schedule your games. Which we haven't put it in the rules yet. If you miss 3 games in one season, you're getting booted. It resets every season, but you only get 3 games before you're done.
And obviously, say like if you're having like a baby, like being like having a baby. If you're like having
the AFC West.
So like if you're having like a baby like over a weekend or something, obviously there's like special circumstances that will allow, and like you can have like an extra game that you can miss or something along those lines.
The key is just to communicate that with us. We're not total assholes. If you tell us what's going on, and we're more than likely going to understand. But it comes down to you telling us in advance and not just not saying anything, and then it comes to your game time and you don't answer for 2 days, and then we're just like, what the hell? That's not acceptable in my opinion. But
For sure.
tell us, we'll work with you and make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Also, along those lines, we had an issue. I guess it was last year or maybe 2 seasons ago. Where they just would say like, yeah, you can have the force win, and then come back and say, hey, I'm available, let's play. You don't get to do that anymore unless your opponent agrees to it. If you say, I'll take the force loss, you get the force win, that's done and over with unless both of you agree that you want to play. That's the only way. If you say that, we're going to let it slide. Right. So just keep that in mind. You don't get to change your mind. If you give it up, you lost.
Yeah, it's pretty much you're right, I guess. Once you say it, it's gone. All right, so I think that's good enough for the rules. So we're gonna start, and the first week 1 roster drops probably gonna be within September 5th and September 9th, somewhere around those dates. But while we kind of like wait till then, we're gonna be hosting just a mandatory tournament. Obviously, if you don't want to play, you're just gonna take an L on your opponent the first time advance to the next round. We've yet to get like the whole bracket and such. Obviously, our plan the first round of games is we will be doing AFC versus NFC. So like, say I can't play past the first round, something like that. It'd have to be like me versus Jeff, and this will obviously be following our rules. Not going to be any of that like cheesy mutt shit, any of that. You guys have anything to add about the tournaments?
You are allowed to pick any team for any game. That's the way I think it should go. I don't think you should be forced to be stuck with your team, because some guys didn't even want the team that they have in the league. Yeah. So you are allowed to play with any team you want. Just follow the rules, play the way you would in the league. Whoever wins the tournament, good on you.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. We might
We
make
might
fix.
put a we may give you like a little banner or something on the
Yeah, I was
daddy
just gonna
leagues
say
page once it's ready.
that. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
Um, yeah, but I mean, it's not gonna be like give you like an extra free agent pick or some shit in the actual CFM.
yep,
Um,
it's just for a little bit of fun and to keep the league interest high. So
yeah.
everybody's at least doing something within the
So
game of Madden.
yeah, I mean, obviously help some of you guys get that rust off too. Um, so I mean that covers the tournament. Some of the gameplay bugs, there's obviously some pretty big ones with the whole if you're on defense and you hold RT to see your play, if the offenses, wide receivers, and running backs have their names, it's a pass. If they don't, it's a run. It's very well known, and it's really annoying to play against in a head-to-head game.
Yeah. I,
It,
So,
I think that's going to be patched hopefully before we start the league, but pending that glitch, I think we may have to, if that causes a delay in the league, hopefully you guys understand that that's just not acceptable as far as gameplay goes, and I don't think that's hard to say as a sim league, as a well-run league, that we have. This is our third Madden game. Um, that's a huge deal. It's a game breaker, and until
mhm.
they fix that, we have no business starting a league where we're playing competition fairly against your opponents. No one's going to be able to check whether you checked your opponent was running or passing that play. So
Mhm. And
Not to
then,
mention the people that do like actually use it. Like I mean, I end up using it a lot because every pre-play I have a habit of checking my defensive scheme, checking my zones, and then adjusting. Or like if I'm in man, checking what my user's guy I'm supposed to cover is. So like I catch myself doing it a lot. But a lot of the people that like blatantly use it every play, it is going to hurt them once the game starts because they're going to be used to trying to say, oh, that's a pass, or that's a run, time to blitz. Try and stay away from using it if you can, guys, because it is not going to help you out once the league starts.
yeah, it's a pretty big handicap for people that do use it. Also, I know there's a few bugs involving CFM, like the rookies. I'm pretty sure there was something like you could, like while scouting or something, you could look at rosters and all the rookies would be there with the exact stats before the actual draft happens. Um,
yep. It's
that
not
that's
all though. It's only the top few rookies. You can check by each position. It's basically the week before the draft. You go into the acquisitions page, and
mhm,
it'll show you like the top 7 guys or so that you can pick up at that position, and it'll end up showing you 3 to 4 rookies who are in this coming draft class. It shows you all their stats, their traits, their development trait, everything.
mhm.
Obviously, that is also unacceptable as far as we run the league. So.
Yeah, I mean, like that. Both of these should be patched relatively soon. I don't think it'll interfere with like delaying us at all, but we never
Yeah,
know
I mean,
how Madden will
we have
go.
a
I
full
was just
two
saying,
weeks. I think is plenty of time for them to patch that shit.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was just say I saw a tweet from Clint Oldenburg or one of the other Madden guys a couple of days ago, or today or yesterday, something like that. A guy asked him if that a CFM ran on 1 day advances for the entirety of it, like would the patch be out before they get to the draft? And he said yes, it would be out before they get to the draft.
So that's what,
So
like
we got probably a week and a
17,
half before.
17
Yeah,
days, yeah.
yeah, we got probably a week and a half before it shows up.
All right, let's hope for that. Um,
Tops. So,
I don't
yeah.
think there are any really more like game-breaking type of bugs, unless you
There's not
guys.
the only thing that I really noticed in game that's not it's not like buggy, but just the run itself is that halfback stretch. It's damn near impossible to stop, even when you know it's coming.
Mm,
Like it's a solid 5 to 7 yards almost every time you run it.
mm. Um,
There's a couple other like in-game things that I've seen that I'm not even sure that they're bugs, but they're just annoying as hell to me. Um, one
the
of them
auto flip.
is the auto audible. Like if you go
Oh,
in and you call a pass play on first down, sometimes the game will just decide that you need to run, and it will audible it for you and then show you the play art and basically make you do it unless you audible back out, which is really frustrating if you're running low on time or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the other is slipping my mind.
Well, the auto flip goes along the same lines.
Auto flip, but that's an easy one that you can just turn off in the settings.
Yeah.
The other that I was thinking was when you're going in when you're on defense, and you just come out of the huddle. Sometimes it'll lock you in on a player and it won't let you switch between players to go make your like pre-snap adjustments. Go play people in purple zones and flats and stuff. Sometimes it'll lock you until your whole defense is set in their stances, which obviously cuts down the amount of things that you can do with your defense. So that's frustrating. But I'm not sure that it's a glitch, but I mean, something to be aware of.
Uh-huh. I guess I've also like noticed something like along the lines with the offensive side. Like I've had some times where it's like right after like say running out of bounds where it'd, like be a normal like stoppage of the clock, I wouldn't be able to snap it until the actual like play clock got down to 10 seconds left. It was like how last year was like you could just smash an A, it just wouldn't snap, and then once it hit to 10 seconds you could snap it. So it's like that could be game breaking if it's say like a 2-minute drill and you have like 15 seconds left and it just runs all the way out. So
yep.
I mean that's for the most part from the bugs that I know. Also, Volhar announced it earlier in chat just a few hours ago. We actually got sidebarred on the Madden subreddit, which is huge for us because, I mean, obviously it'll help out with getting our name out there, publicity, and then more people will have like better recruiting per se. And then obviously, I guess it's somewhat easier to access for you guys. I don't know. It's more so for like our assistants than you guys.
It helps us out the most for sure.
It just legitimizes, I mean, what we're doing here, which is, again, we're in, we started Madden 15, now 16, and now 17, we're running a really good league for the most part. We have a lot of the same guys that have been in it this whole time, and, getting on the sidebar is just a good thing, that we can show people that we're for real. This is a good league. You want to be in this league and not in some other shit league,
On that note, you guys do still, I'm not sure if everybody has subscribed to our subreddit, but you guys do still have to subscribe to the subreddit because the only way we will be accepting trades is through posts in the trade tab in the subreddit.
And also, like, I know a lot of you guys last year in our trade room chat on Slack always put on the block and then all the people on the block. You can do that on the subreddit and just have it. You can just keep updating it whenever you have someone new that you want to add to the block or someone take off.
So you trade someone, so you take them off.
Yeah. So I mean,
now,
it can always
instead of
be
you
there.
putting it in the trade channel and no one reads it there, now no one will read it on the subreddit. It's better for everybody.
This way it doesn't take up chat room.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I mean, just looking at the subreddit right now, we have 22 people that are subscribed, so just 10 more people.
Probably a little bit more than 10, but around there.
What, you subscribed to both your accounts, fucking pleb?
No, I'm just saying I think that there's some guys that like we might have booted early on, like Dante subscribed to it, I think.
Oh, really? That's awkward. But yeah, I mean, do any of you guys have like last words to end this podcast?
I just want to say, thank God the Madden off season is over and we're here, man. 17 is here. Fucking stoked.
It's been long away.
It's been a long month and a half since I stopped playing Madden.
Yeah. I mean, with it comes rage, but I'm ready for it.
I can't wait. Actually, speaking of rage, the icing the field goal or icing the kicker is going to induce so much rage this year on game-losing field goals.
Oh my god, that shit is so bad.
Kicking field goals in general, so many people are struggling with. Like, icing the kicker just goes to like a whole nother level.
There's going to be so many people that raged in chat because they lost because they couldn't kick a field goal, and it's like, get good.
Yeah.
Classic
Like definitely like practice your kicking game. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be just absolutely massive.
It's
And
complicated.
our settings are pretty much going to be what it is online, the all Madden and very fast gameplay, which is I'm
And
pretty sure is
yeah,
what we've always done. So,
and then it's going to be 6-minute quarters with no runoff.
yep.
So
Timber,
yeah, I'm not going to bother doing that.
I
All
guess we're
right.
out though.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Hey,
All right, thanks everybody.
good one,
Later.
guys.
Goodbye, everyone.